What a week it's been in football these past 7 days. We had Philippe Coutinho's massive transfer from Liverpool to Barcelona for no less than £142 million.
Some fee, isn't it? We'll also be speaking today about Arsene Wenger and Arsenal after a humiliating FA Cup defeat to Nottingham Forest and a 3-match touchline ban. Is it time that Arsenal start thinking about a new manager?
Alvaro Morata, Chelsea paid £60 million for him. Is he the player they've paid for? As of late, his form hasn't been good enough. We'll be touching on all these subjects and more. I'm Lee.
I'm Adam.
And this is the Greasy Spoon Debate. Welcome to the top football podcast in Northern Ireland, perhaps even the best, we said so ourselves. We're going to start with Philippe Coutinho. He recently signed for £142 million from Liverpool to Barcelona. Do you think he's worth that fee to start off with, Adam?
Brings a lot of assists and goals to the team.
I'm seeing there so far this season he's got 7 goals and 5 assists in the PL alone.
Yeah, I mean, he's creative.
He's definitely creative.
He's an attacking player, and he does kind of create chances for your strikers.
Yeah. We've said the past 2 weeks in a row now that Liverpool up front are incredible, and we're never done praising them with good reason. I think Coutinho leaving will be a huge knock for that. And all right, you've still got Firmino, Mane, and Salah, and they're as creative as you can get.
Yeah,
but Coutinho, for a long time, was the poster boy of that team. Last season, he was their best player by a huge mile.
Sure. Why do you think he wanted to go to Barca anyway in the first place? Because he knew he was good enough for Barcelona.
I'm not entirely sure why he left. To be honest, I would have thought he was the sort of player who would have liked being the main boy at Liverpool.
I don't know. I think kind of Hispanic-y kind of players are always.
Yeah.
Their dream is always Real Madrid, Barcelona.
Hispanic-y.
I'm not sure that's definitely not a word, is it? Let's be honest.
Well,
here.
let's make it one now. But
Hispanic-y,
I like
Hispanic-y, yeah.
Hispanic-y, yeah.
It's true though. Hispanic-y players.
Yeah.
Kind of double
if
quote
the people
brackets
from
here.
Oxford Dictionary are listening, please take note. This is an important new discovery we've made. Yeah, they do seem to like those kind of teams a lot. This is true.
Yeah, it's their dream. It's simple as that.
Is.
So there's no reason why he wouldn't have wanted to go. And especially, surely, if anything, he's done Liverpool no harm anyway, staying around for 6 more months. You know, six half a year.
Yeah. And
he's probably got them Champions League football next season, or helped anyway.
Yeah.
But at the same time, sorry, go on.
He was meant to leave in the summer, and I think it was 70 million he was going to go for.
Yeah.
But obviously Liverpool managed to keep him a bit longer, and what they did clearly is jack up the price by a
double.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you would say the average transfer price has gone up almost by double since
great business by Liverpool.
If anything, second the Neymar transfer happened, and the hasn't actually happened yet, but the Mbappe one, which is going to be like 192 million or something as well.
Who's he going to?
PSG. He hasn't signed yet.
Oh, right,
he's there on loan until the summertime, and then they can choose to buy.
That's right.
Buy him. I think it was to do with financial fair play or whatever. They couldn't lash out 200 million twice in one summer without people going.
Yeah.
The
they found a pretty decent loophole around that, didn't they? Or through that. Yeah, I don't follow French football, unfortunately. I think that I'd rather watch Northern Irish football. Not to knock Northern Irish football at all, but it is a load of shite.
Yeah.
French football, as far as I'm concerned, is an inferior league to every other one that I can think of.
It's the worst big league, isn't it? It's the worst kind of say.
I think so.
They always say like there's like 5 or 6 big leagues in Europe.
Yeah.
There's England, Spain, Germany, France, Italy.
Portugal's pretty good, isn't it?
Hit or miss. And Netherlands as well sometimes. Really depends who good teams like Ajax are and that kind of thing. Yeah. But no, sorry, what were you saying?
I was going to say Liverpool at the moment, they're 4th in the league. They're 2 points behind Chelsea. They're 3 points clear of Spurs. He hasn't, as you say, done them any huge damage in leaving. But you know that they're not in a position where they're completely safe. Obviously, being halfway through the season, you can't be anyway.
No,
I couldn't. I would have said if Coutinho stayed, Liverpool would have bagged 4th place, no problem.
Yeah.
I don't think that's likely now, to be honest.
Likely? You don't think it's likely?
Don't think it's likely. I think Spurs will get it. Harry Kane, he'll make a difference for them. Liverpool without Coutinho is not as strong as Spurs with Harry Kane, in my opinion. No matter how good Salah is.
You're right. What about Arsenal then as well? We'll talk about that later on the show. But
we'll talk about Arsenal later on the show, of course.
But for top 4 though?
No, I think the top 4 will be City. United, Chelsea, Spurs at this point. But before the Coutinho transfer, I would have thought it was Liverpool.
There's still like, what day is it today? It's the 11th of January.
Yeah.
There's still
at this time of recording.
there's still 3 weeks left of the January transfer window.
Of course, yeah.
Liverpool now have buckets load of cash to spend.
Yeah.
Would they not just go out and say, right, this is it, we're going to fucking buy Mahrez, we're going to buy this, we're going to buy that? I know they've already spent 75 and Virgil van Dijk.
Yep.
But he's a centre back, obviously. Why won't they go out and spend 100 million on 2 attackers now?
Yeah, and I don't think they've actually paid the 70 million to Southampton. I heard they're
Is that
paying
right?
Southampton in like 3 different installments. They've only given Southampton like 20 million already.
Really?
Yeah, so Southampton haven't really gotten
Kind of makes
a nice
sense,
end of the
doesn't it?
stick.
I was going to say 75 did sound like a lot up front for someone, a Southampton player. You only normally you pay that much really for someone who's proven at the top level, wouldn't you?
Well, he's a fantastic Southampton player.
Yeah,
and
that's
he proved
true.
that. He proved that against Everton.
True.
That was a
No
hell
doubt.
of a goal. Like he rose like a
Oh,
Rolls
yeah.
Royce, according to
Script
Martin
was
Keown.
written, wasn't it? Really?
It was, yeah. And Everton don't look that good right now, obviously. And I think that Ross Barkley even won't help that.
True.
But I think that whenever you look at Coutinho's record with Liverpool in general, he's played for them 152 times, 152 appearances in total, and he's scored 41 goals. That's all right. Maybe it's not as high as Hazard or maybe who else would you have up there? Even Salah at this point. Obviously not as high as Harry Kane.
No.
And I don't think he's worth that huge price tag. But that's mostly down to again Liverpool doing some fantastic business.
So how many goals did he score this season?
He scored 7 in the Premier League and 15 in all competitions.
7 goals for 142 million is a lot of it's a lot of money per goal, isn't it?
But wasn't
Per
he injured
season.
for a while at the start of the season?
4 or 5 matches, but look,
Yeah.
Pogba. People always say Pogba was overvalued at 89. Pogba's got 11 goals and 8 assists this season.
Yeah. And he was injured for quite a lot. too.
He's missed at least 8 or 9 games this season. Are you saying now that Coutinho is 60 million better than Pogba?
Yeah.
I don't think he is.
No. Or as you were saying on Twitter the other day, that your inflation obviously comes into
That's it,
effect
yeah,
there.
that's right.
Of course.
Point that out to some Arsenal fan.
You have to point these things out to Arsenal fans. They aren't the most intelligent bunch.
You're right.
Yeah.
They support Arsenal for a reason, don't they?
They support Arsenal for a reason. They wouldn't know a good midfielder if they married their mum. Now, 25 years old, that obviously ties into it. Younger players go for a higher value. And I think players between 25 and 27 are in their peak.
Yeah.
They know them. They know as much as you're going to know about the game, and they've still got as much pace and they've still got as much intelligence as a younger player.
Yeah.
I think that whenever you take the inflation, things like that into consideration, I reckon that in about 2 or 3 years' time, we'll be thinking about transfers like the Coutinho one and like the Pogba one and the Neymar one, and we'll be looking back on that in the way that we look back upon the Zidane transfer whenever that was the one
Absolutely.
that smashed the record back then. Back then, 50 billion was huge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But now we're looking at 142 million.
That's just insane, and that's not even the biggest of all time. That's 80 million less than the Neymar one last summer.
Yeah. And I think that's an interesting thing to touch on as well. With the huge price tags that have came on to players now, has football became just a playground for rich people?
Yes. Unfortunately, it really has become a rich man's game.
Yeah.
Not that it wasn't before, but it's become like instead of the local millionaire, it has. It's become a game of global billionaires kind of fighting it out on a pitch.
Yeah.
And it is a lot more money focused these days. Like there's not as many kind of unsung heroes coming through the ranks, youth ranks to kind of make it for a big team and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen quite as much anymore.
It's more of a problem in England, I think.
It is.
You'll have your continental fans that'll point out the fact that Barcelona and Bayern Munich are fan owned.
Yes.
At least a majority share, isn't that how it works?
I
I don't think Bayern Munich is completely owned by fans,
They
but
have a fan club anyway.
but Barcelona is. Barcelona is completely owned by.
Yeah,
the
well,
people
Barcelona, the club Barcelona sees themselves as like a country, basically the way they
that-
are.
yeah, and don't they elect the person that runs the club?
I think that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that's what they're saying. Is like it was like
Yeah.
sit in on club or something like that. It's like
Yeah.
more than a club.
I think whenever or if Catalonia leaves Spain, they should just make the president of Barcelona the president of the country.
May as well. Like make Messi like the...
Have one fewer election every year. That'd be a good idea.
Messi might as well be the head of state.
Imagine that.
Might as well be.
Messi shaking hands with the Ayatollah or something.
Exactly.
Imagine that.
He might bring along world peace. You never know.
He could share tax dodging tips with the Ayatollah of Iran. That'd be amazing.
Sure, they're all over up to that in Spain anyway.
Yeah. No, I also want to touch on the huge amount of profit that Liverpool have made off of Coutinho. They only signed him for. Do you know how much they signed him for?
It was very little, wasn't it? He was 10 million.
Yeah.
10 million.
8.5.
Is that all it was?
That's all it was.
To be fair though, he was 20, and they were taking a chance because it actually hadn't quite worked out for him at Inter Milan. Yeah, I mean they were saying that he wasn't quite hitting the peaks at Milan, and they were ready to sell him. And
they had loaned him out to Espanyol as well whenever he was at Inter Milan. So they were trying to obviously give him some experience, but they sold him for a nice fee. The Liverpool made 133 million in the back of the guy.
That's incredible.
So they're the real geniuses.
Would you say Brendan Rodgers then has a lot to do with his development and all that kind of stuff, and making him a better player? Obviously, Brendan Rodgers must have seen some talent when he was.
Absolutely. Brendan Rodgers. I mean, that guy. I think he's a fantastic manager. I rate him as one of the best in the United Kingdom. Well, obviously he's doing so well at Celtic. I think with that last season he had at Liverpool, he's became a bit of a laughing stock in England. I think he'll come back again. I think he'll manage a big team. I could see Brendan Rodgers managing Chelsea, and I think he would do a great job there.
Yeah. Did he not work for Chelsea at some point? He used to work for Mourinho, didn't he?
He was the youth coach for Chelsea.
During Mourinho's era?
Yeah, that's right.
Because he's another one of these coaches who've kind of developed from the Mourinho kind of background staff who've come out as managers. Same as what was the manager last year? Not even last year. Managed Swansea. He was a Mourinho.
I'm not sure
Paul Clement was he a Mourinho guy?
I don't know about him now. Was he?
But anyway, the point I'm making is there's a few guys who are
Andre Villas-Boas,
Karanka, the Middlesbrough manager. That's who it is.
Oh, okay.
He used to work under Mourinho. So it's a lot of the kind of ex-Mourinho managers are coming out now.
Well, you have the fact that Mourinho used to be Bobby Robinson's translator. Things like that.
That's right. Him and Pep were at the same club.
Yeah, him and Pep were at the same club.
And
Luis Enrique. And there was somebody else, Pep Guardiola.
That's right.
They were all at the same club at one stage.
That was also Louis van Gaal.
Yeah, that's right. Louis van Gaal
was around that time.
Yeah, he was managing Barcelona, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But that was obviously after
Bobby Robson
left. Yeah,
I think Mourinho was still there, and if anything, apparently Mourinho said he could actually base his coaching on LVG and Bobby Robson.
It shows.
Yeah,
it does show. He's basically a child of the pair of them. I also think the fact that he's cup tied really should have taken down from the price that he sold for. He can't play against Chelsea in February.
Yeah, I think they're thinking more of the future, though, aren't they? They're thinking more about next season, really, as much as anything.
Yeah, but
and probably trying to solidify
great word,
their position in the La Liga, where they're 10, 11 points clear of Real Madrid.
Salah.
I'm getting sick of listening to that now.
Money.
I'll just edit later.
And we sold Coutinho.
Introducing our brand new segment. This is going to be called Adam and Lee's favourite thing this week. And this week it is Richie Sheehy's song, which you'll hear in the background there, about Mane, Firmino, Coutinho, Salah. It's utterly brilliant. He's so funny. He's Cork's biggest Liverpool fan. You know what?
There's nothing I like more than a Cork Liverpool fan as well. It's my favourite thing in the whole world.
I've never met one, actually.
Have you not?
He's the first one, yeah. Well, he's the biggest one. They had an election down there, and he won fair and square. Biggest one.
They don't normally like football down in Cork.
They don't normally know.
They're into the Gaelic.
No, they're too busy fucking their sisters. So we're moving on to Arsene Wenger. He's going to be our next big topic this evening. He's managed Arsenal for 22 years, since 1996. He won his first title in 1998, his second season with the club. Is it time to move on? He hasn't been doing so well recently.
Still won a few FA Cups in the last few years. If there's any kind of redeeming value from the last decade.
I heard he's the FA Cup's most successful manager.
But is the FA Cup does it mean that much anymore, the FA Cup?
At this stage for Arsenal, it should be, yeah. at the stage they're
at Arsenal's level.
at their level.
That's exactly what you're saying, really, isn't
That's
it?
what I'm saying. Not to say that clubs necessarily have levels in England, but if one of them were to be lower than the rest, it would be Arsenal. Yeah. But 7 FA Cup wins isn't to be
sniffed at.
Isn't to be sniffed at. Isn't to be scowled at. Isn't to
It's
be
not.
shaking your sticks at. If you want to shake sticks at things.
At the same time, though, I mean, he's looking at literally missing out in the top 4 2 years in a row.
Yeah. First time ever, isn't it?
What?
That's the first time he's ever missed out in the top 4 in 2 years in a row.
He only last year was the first time he ever missed out in the top 4.
Is that right? I thought
Yeah.
he'd done it once before. Oh, silly me.
I think maybe the very, very first season he took over Arsenal, maybe they didn't get top 4, but
okay.
top 4 wasn't a thing back then anyway. It was like
Yeah.
top 2 or 3 back then, got Champions
Yeah.
League. No, I think it's the first time in at least 15 years anyway, let's put it that way, that Arsenal are going to be outside the top 4 for 2 years in a row. Well, that's poor. That is very poor, let's be honest. Like,
And whenever you were watching the match against Nottingham Forest, Arsenal didn't look like a team that could win anything.
not really, no. They
No.
were outplayed by Championship opposition, really,
Yeah.
in every position. Now, to be fair, this is another thing I don't understand. Arsenal likely have 2 trophies they can win this year, maybe 3. None of them are big trophies.
Mhm.
Why would he not go and play his best team at Nottingham Forest if the FA Cup means that much?
Yeah.
They're the defending champions,
Mhm.
and he goes and plays what was essentially a B team.
He made 7 changes for that match.
Yeah, I mean, what was he thinking?
I'm not sure. Well,
Was he thinking, I'm going to, I'm saving myself for the semi-final of the Carabao Cup?
Yeah.
But then again, yesterday it was a full team, was it? Or was it?
Yeah, it was a full team yesterday.
Minus
yeah,
Sanchez
minus
and Ozil?
Sanchez and Ozil. Yeah, it was a full team. Mind you, whenever El Neni came on, he was the best player on the pitch, I felt. Bar Wilshere. Wilshere played quite well. He put a good
To be honest,
shift
the
in.
match last night bored me to tears.
It bored me to tears.
I literally, you don't need a prescription for night all. if you can watch Arsenal Chelsea from last night,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
seriously good medication.
If you can watch Chelsea lately, the game Chelsea played against Norwich as well was so unbelievably boring. There wasn't a single shot on target in the first half. It was just so bad. But Arsenal last night defended really well. That's
Yeah.
one thing that I think needs to be pointed out.
Yeah.
Not a single Chelsea attack looked potent enough. Chelsea's tactics are basically get it to Hazard and hope for the best, cross your fingers.
Yeah, I mean,
And Arsenal broke it down every time.
I guess after conceding 4 away to a championship team, it's probably a good thing to kind of shore up the defence
Yeah.
and say, right,
Yeah.
at the very least tonight, don't let anything in.
Mhm.
We may not score, but we'll
Yeah.
take it back to the Emirates. I almost at Highbury there.
Which is impressive. Which is impressive because he played his second keeper as well. He played Ospina instead of Jack.
That's right.
But I think that's a cup thing, maybe.
That's every team does that now, though. They always give
Yeah.
the second keeper, a purpose in life, basically.
Did Manchester United play a second keeper?
Yeah, we played Romero.
Oh, but you're playing against Derby, weren't you?
Yeah, but I reckon even if we go all the way to the final, Romero will play every match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he-
Same
did
with
he
the
do it in the
Europa
FA
League
Cup?
last year, sure.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And the League Cup last year, I'm pretty sure Romero played both of them,
Okay.
which is really funny. The 2 trophies we won, we played a backup keeper in.
That's incredible, yeah. That's right. That wasn't it Paul Merson who rated David De Gea the best keeper in England? Why? Because he won 2 trophies.
He
With,
didn't actually win them.
Yeah, but he didn't win it. He didn't win them at all. Oh dear. I think it was Paul Merson. I could be wrong, but
Wouldn't surprise me if Paul Merson, like he's probably the worst pundit there is in TV.
that's why I go with him. If there's ever a pundit who made a mistake and you can't remember who it is, just guess it was Paul Merson. You're normally right. However, he's also an Arsenal legend.
He is.
Came
He is.
through
Yeah, that's right.
came through the Wenger managerial era.
I think it's before Wenger.
And he retired. He retired in
Yeah,
2000
yeah, pretty right.
2003 or something.
He, I remember Paul Merson playing for Portsmouth,
Yeah.
bringing them up with Harry Redknapp and everything. That's probably 2004 or something.
Mhm.
But anyway, enough about Paul Merson. Let's get back
This
to
is
Arsenal.
welcome to the Paul Merson Show.
Yeah. Anyway, Arsenal.
Oh, Paul Merson. 3 Premier League wins as well for Arsene Wenger. That's more than most managers ever hope
It is,
to win.
but it's such a long time ago. You should start to say, does it actually count anymore? Really? Like, can you really say, "Oh, wonderful! I won the league in 2004, 2005 was the last season they won."
2004. Yeah.
2004.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
The Invincibles.
it's 14 years ago. That's in
Yeah.
football.
Yeah.
That's in any other walk of life. That's you're talking 100 years. 14 years of football is like 100 years anywhere else.
Yeah,
They're like dog years in a way. The opposite of dog years, I guess.
Yeah, I thought no, that Invincibles team, you can't talk about them enough because they were so friggin' good. I used to have nightmares about how good Thierry Henry was, and how good Patrick Vieira was, and how good Robert Perez was, and Lundberg was. They were just such a fantastic team.
All over the pitch.
All over the pitch.
They were invincible, basically. That's where the name comes from, I guess.
Yeah.
They even had at the back Sol Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
I seen the end Lehman sitting in the stand yesterday, did you?
Yeah, I think he's goalkeeper manager. Yeah,
is he?
Yeah, he's the goalkeeper manager.
He was a nut job. Costing the Champions League final that year, do you remember?
Yeah, that's right.
Barcelona, they were winning 1-0 15 minutes ago. Wenger almost won the Champions League in a different alternative reality somewhere. Arsenal have a Champions League win.
Like, I don't want to live there. But it was after that season after that season they lost to Barcelona. It all started to go wrong because I think Vieira left that season.
Vieira went to Juventus. If anything, I think Vieira had already left because I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
A young Cesc Fabregas was breaking through the Arsenal team, and Arsenal actually knocked out Juventus, where Vieira had moved to.
Right. Okay.
And Fabregas played Vieira off the pitch.
Right. Okay. Well, there we go.
And they also knocked out Real Madrid.
Yeah. Fabregas, back when he was pacier, was a player to be reckoned with. I think he's playing his best football now, but when he's pacier, he was more of a typical centre midfielder.
Yeah, box to box a lot more, kind of run around the pitch a lot more.
He's really more Andre Pirlo.
Yeah.
He's kind of a
That's
clone of Andre Pirlo.
That's fair enough when you're getting to about 30 now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 30. That's on the button. Yeah. Again, as well, he won his first Premier League in 1998. That was the year that people have been talking about a lot recently, because that was the year that Manchester United were clear by 13 points in, I believe it was March, and they still managed to throw it out because of injury.
Yeah.
Which isn't to be scoffed at because it can happen in any team.
I remember that.
And then Arsenal managed to win the league.
That was the very first season that I was really a football fan.
Yeah. How many points did they win by?
It was neck and neck. I think it was 1 or 2 points on the last day of the season.
Yeah.
To Arsenal. I think Roy Keane got injured for United.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And it was literally the season after Cantona had left.
Yeah.
So United were in a little bit of a dip. If anything, it might have been Cantona's last season, maybe, and he was injured for the last half. I can't remember, I was 7. But anyway, Arsenal did pip United the title that year, and everyone sat up and went, whoa, Arsenal are a proper team now. Nicholas Anelka and all that kind of stuff were in that team. Yeah, it was a good team back then.
And it was a hell of a team. And then they started. I remember that around that time was never the Manchester United-Arsenal rivalry. There were red cards. Almost. It was almost something you wouldn't even bet on it because it was a cert. The odds would have been terrible.
It back then was the way United City is now, basically. It was the big fixture in the Premier League.
Only now the Premier League's conflated itself a bit more. There are more teams that want to win. Yeah, but not Spurs.
But in terms of people getting violent and all that kind of stuff, like Pizzagate and all that kind of thing, I was there that day.
You were there.
I was at Old Trafford the day Fabregas for the pizza at Alex Ferguson.
Did you
see? And the end of the 50 match and beaten run and all that kind of stuff. It was unbelievable. Best day of my life.
Oh god, that's funny. What do you think? Do you think it's time for them to change? Do you think it's time for them to change?
I think so. Yeah, I think Piers Morgan would be definitely agreeing anyway that Arsene Wenger's had his time. I think, and it's time someone else kind of.
I think it was time for
who is there?
I heard that Ancelotti was in the mix to take over Arsenal. All right, he's a very good manager, but has he got the players?
I'm not sure. Like,
if it happens, of course. If it happens,
I'm not sure he's the right manager for Arsenal.
No,
I think Arsenal needs someone younger.
Like who?
I don't know.
I heard them talking about Allegri. The
could be, yeah.
Manager, yeah.
What type of football does he play? I'm imagining Arsenal are going to hire a manager who plays kind of walking in football.
Well, did you watch the Champions League final last year?
Yeah.
Well, he was Juventus' manager.
Yeah, they play quite attacking.
They play quite well. They have to against Real Madrid. You've got no other choice. I don't watch Serie A week in week out, unfortunately. But
I've seen enough of Juventus in the Champions League and stuff. Though I don't know how they play. Like they are quite for an Italian team, they're attacking enough actually.
They're quite impressive, I think. Yeah, and as well with Pogba leaving, you'd think that maybe they would take a dip.
Yeah,
perhaps. But what about it? And speaking about Arsenal fan TV, which is another thing you can bring up because they really want Arsene Wenger gone badly. They want him gone so bad they can't even hold their breath. And with our last segment there, Lee and Adam's favourite things, we had a runner-up this week, which was the gentleman that Robbie was interviewing on National Fan
Yes.
TV. And what was it he said?
He said it was bloody dreadful, or fucking dreadful, and I'm fucking blind.
I'm so glad I'm blind enough to watch that.
That was fucking dreadful.
That was a runner-up for Leonardo's favourite thing this week because it was so funny. Everyone, you just saw the crowd behind the guy, sort of trying to hold back their laughter.
Yeah, blood.
Yeah, blood. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Fam.
Blood.
Arsenal Fan TV is always the thing is, it's so put on Arsenal Fan TV, isn't it? I bet.
Do you think so?
Do you think your man Troops is overdoing it every week?
Oh, he is definitely.
Like,
Yeah.
I seen one time they have a counter. How many bloods and fams? Like, who wins every one? Like, it was like 75 bloods to 71 fams or last week or whatever. Like,
You couldn't write that shit.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's inhumane to say blood and fam that many times in a sentence.
I would kill.
Criminal offence.
I would kill to see Arsene Wenger go on television and do that. Yes.
Oh, did you see the video
What?
of all the Arsenal Fan TV lads? Like, basically Arsene Wenger's drive by in a car.
Yeah.
And they get a glimpse of Wenger and he says something to them. They all like shit their pants. Like, oh my God, Wenger, oh my God. Like, right. So every week you're on here going, I hate him, I hate him, I hate him. The second you see him, you're literally like, getting your knees.
No, at that point, he isn't the man who destroyed our team. At that point, he's the guy that won you 3 league titles.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, it'd be like in...
It shows he's just trying to sell advertising, really.
Basically,
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
What's that film with Garth? Wayne's World.
Wayne's World, yeah.
It would be like if Alice Cooper hadn't had a good hit in 15 years and all they'd done is say, like, Alice Cooper's passed it.
Alice
And they
Cooper
see him
hasn't
and
had
they
a
still
good hit in
go,
15
we're not
years."
worthy. But you're still shit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But then behind his back, he hit him, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like I said, I would love to see Arsene Wenger go on Sky Sports someday in a post-match interview, and they ask him, well, Arsene, how do you feel you got on today? See, you see blood, the femme, the feel of the...
I'd pay to see that. That's box
I would
office
pay
there.
to see it, yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
But I'd pay a tenner to see that.
Plus admission. I felt that now it needs to be pointed out as well that the referees haven't been kind to Arsenal the past few games. The past 3 penalties that have been given against them, or was it 4? 3 or 4? I can't remember. That really were shaky, especially Eden Hazard one last week in the league. That was never a penalty. The guy definitely jumped, and the fact that it wasn't given, the fact it was given, just plays right into Arsene Wenger's wheelhouse.
That's right.
Where he's saying that referees are basically City fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels that way to me anyway.
Do you think
But,
Alexis will go to City?
Well, we're just reading there about United as well now coming in. But
I doubt it though.
to me, it screams that Arsenal have put the kind of some sort of like message out
Yeah.
that United are interested to kind of up the transfer value. So that they get a little bit more money out of City now. Because I mean, they haven't got that much options. That's another poor thing Arsenal do. They let players get down to their final season of their contract,
Yeah.
and then they go for free or they go for nothing. The last time this happened, they lost Van Persie to Man United
Yeah.
for 22 million or something. Van Persie, like he'd been the Golden Boot winner for 2 years in a row, Player of the Year 2 years in a row, and they lost him for 20 million.
He was their captain at that point, wasn't
He
he?
was their captain, and then what happens? He goes off, scores
Yeah.
another 20-something goals, wins the league for United.
It seems to be a problem with Arsenal. A lot of the players who go and become captain
Yeah,
leave.
yeah.
Vieira was the first to do it. Then Henry, then Fabregas, Van Persie.
Yeah.
It seems to be a thing that just happens.
Adebayor, Man City.
Adebayor.
Man City have basically ransacked Arsenal for the last 10 years straight, haven't they? Like,
They have. They
basically,
are,
they're like Arsenal are like the Man City training wheels, basically. That's what they are.
Arsenal are to City what Southampton are to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Mm.
And what Liverpool are to Barcelona.
What are Liverpool to Barcelona? God, well, not even that. Spurs as well for Real Madrid.
That's
There's
true.
another point to be made, I suppose.
Or Everton and Man United. Everton are like Man United buy all Everton's best players, and Man United give Everton all their rubbish. I'm not
true.
messing.
That was the second runner-up to our favourite thing this week was Wayne Rooney's tweet this week, where he tweeted to Piers Morgan, "I know how to spell Arsenal, but I prefer to say
That was
Arsenal."
that was in 2012.
Oh, was it?
That was a retweet from 2012, but it's still hilarious.
Even still,
Given the
context,
context of the moment.
it was more relevant now than ever.
But if anything, it's funnier because Wayne Rooney in 2012 saying that
Yeah.
It's a lot funnier than the 2017 kind of slightly washed up Wayne Rooney.
yeah.
It's hilarious.
Still, he's so funny. His Twitter's hysterical. I remember his very first tweet as well. Hey Rio, do you want to lift into training tomorrow, bro, or something?
Pal. Do
yeah.
you need picking up in the morning, pal?
That's what it is.
You know, as if like he thought like posting that publicly in Twitter would go down well. Like, what's he like?
He must have thought it was a private
Sometimes,
message.
like, did all Wayne Rooney's brain cells land on his feet?
Possibly. I always rated Rooney. I always rated him. I thought he was a
Quality
fantastic
player. I love the man, obviously.
And he's still doing well for Everton. By the way, he didn't play well against United.
Oh, you were shocking that match?
Yeah, I thought he was all right, but you proved me wrong last week.
He
Showed me
he gave
error of
away
my
the
ways.
ball for the first goal. It's an alright performance. Like, didn't do anything in the match really. But how do we get on to Wayne Rooney again?
We were talking about Arsenal, then we were talking about Arsenal, and then we
That's right.
decided that Wayne Rooney should be the star of the show. Welcome to the Wayne Rooney Show.
That's right. It was part 2 of the.
Wayne Rooney.
So it's to sum it up then. Arsene Wenger,
Sack him in the morning.
sack him in the morning.
I would sack him in the morning.
But do you not think there'll be another season then for Arsenal fans with Wenger?
The likelihood is he'll manage until he dies. But if Arsenal's board were paying attention to
Do you know what?
output rather than currency, they would have sacked him years ago.
Even when he dies, they'll still have some octopus or something pointing
Yeah.
at different parts of Wenger to kind of like mysteriously kind of choose the kind of winning team for this week or something. You like remember Paul the Octopus from the World Cup?
Yeah,
They'll have like the Arsenal Octopus, and it'll like be pointing at Wenger, and they'll be going, "Oh, Wenger says it's this team this week."
Can I just point out to any listeners there, you didn't see it, but Adam was doing an incredible impression of an octopus with his arms.
Yeah,
It was
two-armed octopus here.
waving his arms around. This is what an octopus does, but with more arms.
Yeah, visual descriptions here by Lee Grogan.
Alvaro Morata. I'm not happy. I'm not a happy boy. For those who don't know, I'm a Chelsea fan, and Alvaro Morata isn't pleasing me right now. I watched him last night against Arsenal, and I was wondering how on God's green earth that guy is worth 60 million. He was great the first half of the season, and all of a sudden he's gone and forgotten how to finish a ball, how to put the ball into the back of the net, which is all you pay the fucking man for, you know.
Exactly.
It was horrible to watch, and against Norwich as well. Against friggin' Norwich, the guy could barely even.
He missed some sitters last week against Arsenal too.
Guy,
I'm just glad that he
Should
didn't
have had a hat-trick.
sign. I'm glad he didn't sign for United now, if I'm honest.
he should have had a hat trick against Arsenal last week.
Yeah.
And
That one where he's 1-on-1 with the keeper and he hit it wide. He didn't even hit it on target. He actually hit it like 3 or 4 yards to the right of the goal.
It was that was one where he came in off the left wing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you can see his movement and all that is unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
And his heading's great.
His hold-up play is better than Costa's was.
Yeah.
But his finishing isn't.
Costa was
anywhere
more ruthless.
near. Costa was a better player. If I can be honest, Morata. The best word I can use to describe Morata is a girl's blouse. When his confidence is high, he does really well. He scored a hat trick against Stoke. He scored that blinder against Man United. When his confidence is high, he's fantastic. But then whenever the critics start to say bad things about him, like I am now and like we are now, he all of a sudden seems to lose everything beneath his feet. The rug's pulled out from underneath him, and he forgets how to play properly. Even whenever the balls come in from Spilicueta now, he doesn't look half as good coming on the end of it. He isn't able to find the space like before.
Is it as much to do with the fact that he's so young?
Well, he's 20, no, he's not, he'd be 24.
24.
So he should really be figuring his shit out right now. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like I can be more lenient with him because of how well he truly has played for most of the season.
Yeah.
It's the past 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is too long again. I'm in two minds. That's the real problem. I'm in two minds about the guy.
Which not given till the end of the season anyway. You're practically. I can't see Chelsea finishing below third.
No, I don't see it happening either. I like I said in the first segment as well, I can't see Liverpool being the team that do Chelsea in. Possibly Spurs do. But if Morata figures it out, it's okay. If he could
Who do
figure
you
out
get to
his
replace him then?
one-on-one,
Who do you get to replace him?
who do we get to replace him? Can I have Costa back? Is that an option?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Who do you get? What I mean is, who do you get the same age as Morata, same kind of reputation? He had a good reputation come to England.
He did, yeah. He did. Well, we'll go over his record with Real Madrid. Last season, he got 26 appearances and 15 goals. He's got 19 appearances so far this season and 10 goals. So he's done in half a season almost what he did in, or sorry, 2/3 of what he did in a full season at Real Madrid in fewer games, which, all right, is impressive. But he's just hit a wall recently, and it's not good enough, unfortunately. And his Spanish record's good as well.
Real Madrid as well. He probably wasn't playing every match from the start. And you imagine they have Benzema and Ronaldo and Bale, and a few other top players up there. Like,
of course, yeah.
He probably was coming off the bench a lot, but I seen his record in Juve as well. Before that, it wasn't incredible.
No, it wasn't. He scored 16 goals in 2 years.
Yeah,
something like that.
This is not great for a striker.
Not great, not good enough anyway. But when you watch the way the guy plays, again, his hold-up play is fantastic. He does.
Of course.
It wasn't great last night. He creates a lot of chances for Hazard, and he creates a lot of room for the wingers to find space around him.
Yeah.
And then if he can find space in the middle, it's not a big problem. And I feel like every sentence I say, I have to finish it off with, but he's not doing that. And the reason for it is because it's the fact. The guy, he's reading the stuff that's said about him online, and it's hitting him. He's hurting him really badly. He's a really emotional player.
But here's a different situation than what would happen then if you had signed Lukaku and United had got Morata, like everyone thought.
I didn't think Lukaku was ever going to Chelsea in the first place.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was ever going to happen. He played for us twice now. I don't think it was ever going to happen.
I was surprised though that he went to United though.
Were you?
Yeah, I didn't think. I honestly thought we were getting Morata.
Well, frankly, I don't really follow the transfer rumors too much. They kind of annoy me quite a lot. Most of them are unbelievably false. I mean, I saw DiMarzio reporting yesterday that Real Madrid were going to sign Mohamed Salah this month because Barcelona signed Coutinho as a kind of response. And it's like, well, what happens next? Do Atletico Madrid sign Mane, and then do Sevilla sign Firmino?
Just take apart Liverpool, basically.
Just take apart Liverpool. Transfer rumours, for the most part, are completely bogus.
Especially this time of year as well. In January, it's actually worse.
Nothing ever happens in January.
Well, Coutinho was a big one, as we said earlier on the show.
That's true. For the first time, yeah.
That again was one that was meant to be done last summer. That was kind of a continuation of last summer.
Yeah, rarely do cup-tied players move.
And I mean, the Alexis Sanchez one as well is another one that is being done now, so Arsenal can make a little bit of money.
Yeah. I think that's about right. Now, I would have said before the Arsenal match that Chelsea were the team that were most likely to finish in second. The reason I felt that is because, United have more depth, but I felt like Chelsea just had the finished product a bit better than United had, and I felt like seeing United's recent form, I wasn't totally impressed. But the past two games, Chelsea don't look that potent in front of goal. The tactic last night was hack it to Hazard again and hope he does something with it. That's not good enough, frankly.
To be fair, though, I would be saying the opposite, that I think United finished in second this season, personally. I don't know why. I just have a feeling about it, really, that Pogba back in the team and all that kind of thing, it's going to improve our chances massively. And who knows who will sign this January.
I think that's January over, frankly.
I don't think so.
You just signed that dude from PSG, didn't it?
It's almost done again. It's not quite over the line yet. Right, okay. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, we'll do something in January. I'm including that as a potential buy, if you know what I mean. With Jesse Lingard in his form, anyway.
Yeah.
Is there any need to buy someone at the minute?
Not really, no.
But
I don't think there's a need for United to buy anybody.
No, not really. And Chelsea, obviously, then. Chelsea, they're not even...
I think Chelsea need to sign. Chelsea
early.
Need to get rid of Michy Batshuayi, and they need and replace him, really.
Yeah.
And they'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think that Ross Barkley come into the team as well.
For me, he's a good backup player, though. He's not really a first teamer.
I've been thinking about that, though. I think that whenever you've got Bakayoko and Drinkwater, and they're good centre midfielders,
Hmm.
but they're quite similar. Drinkwater bored me so much last night. Every pass he made was backwards or sideways. There wasn't much creativity coming from him. Maybe having
his name's Drinkwater for a reason.
his name's Drinkwater. He's not very much fun. Yeah. But after that goal he scored against Stoke, you thought maybe something might have happened out of it. But oh well, what a pity. But hey, there's still more games to go there. But
That's true.
Ross Barkley is a far more creative player,
He is.
and I think if you put someone like that in centre midfield, and they've given him number 8 shirt.
Yeah.
So they're thinking of him as a kind of spiritual successor to Lampard. They actually in 2013 Chelsea had highlighted Ross Barkley as the number 1 replacement that they wanted for Lampard.
Doesn't surprise me. I remember the hype revolving around Ross Barkley when he came on the scene. It was kind of Wayne Rooney level hype, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I remember.
I think he'll still come good. And I think this move could be good for
He's
him.
not that old, is he? He's still very young.
No, he's only 24 or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's plenty of time to kind of develop into a top player.
And for all the price it was 15 million.
It's worth a go.
Yeah.
What are Everton doing? Sell him? Contract, is it?
I think he just wanted to leave. Based on what I've been hearing from Everton fans in like message boards and all that online, they didn't particularly like the way that for 6 months he sat in a hospital bed and collected a wage and then took off at the end of the year.
But that's part of football. You have to.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, but for a fan, you don't want to see that. Now back to Morata. I thought at the start of the season he was going to be a great signing, especially the kind of player that he was. He's more creative than Costa is. However, not quite as fast. I've noticed. You noticed that as well. Costa was fast.
He was, yeah. He kind of bulldozed people, didn't he?
Yeah.
Morata's a bit more finesse, I would say, than
You don't
Costa.
think of Costa as a quick player. He was
No.
he was something like the second quickest player in a full at full speed in 2015.
It's impressive.
Yeah, so you don't think of him like that because he didn't have to do it that often. You had Hazard there and Willian for a reason.
I do think Costa definitely made you more like title winners than top 4 contenders than you are now.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
You were actually definitely leaning toward. We were champions last season, obviously, and twice of the last 3 seasons. So Costa was obviously a very important part of that.
And Costa didn't switch on every game either.
No.
He really didn't.
He still scored in the big moments, though, didn't he? Like he always turned
Yeah.
up.
I don't know why I'm knocking on Stoke lately, but I remember that goal he scored against Stoke. Would have been January 2017.
Yeah.
Or would have been December 2016. Was an absolute cracker. You should look at it. Not great goal he scored. Just bullied the defenders. Typical Costa goal in a way.
Yeah.
Wonderful forward. He was the end result of a new Drogba that you would have wanted.
Yeah.
With Morata, we're starting over again.
Play for Spain instead of Brazil because he actually didn't think he's going to make it into the Brazil team.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Considering how good Spain became anyway. Spain have actually been better than Brazil for the last 10 or so years anyway, on average, I would say.
Yeah. Did you see his first game back in Atletico's home ground?
I didn't actually.
He's the first player in La Liga history to score a goal and get sent off in the same match.
Was that his first match again?
Yeah, his very first match.
What's he like?
He was. Well, I think in the first half he pushed over a defender, got a booking. All right, fair enough. Then he got in 2 fights at half time. He had to get led down the tunnel by the Atletico goalkeeper, whose name I can't remember. And then the second half, he scores a blinder of a goal, and he runs into the crowd, celebrates. Yeah, fucking Costa back up. And he walks back, and there's the referee sitting with a yellow card and a red card, and he's away. Because he went and celebrated with the fans. That was apparently some
classic Costa thing. You're not going to miss that kind of antics at Chelsea, are you?
I actually do a little bit. I like the passion behind it. That's something that
he means well, obviously.
He means well, yeah. Thanks for the season, bye-bye. That's how it all ended.
That's it. So you don't think he'll ever come back to Chelsea again? Anything else done?
No, that's his return he's done now. He's back to where he's...
He can never even speak English anyway. He just didn't bother learning.
No, he never learned speaking English. No, anytime he did a post-match interview, you had to have Cesar Spilicueta or Fabregas there to translate. How can you live in London? Oh no, hang on, this is London.
Yeah,
in London, you can't live there.
Multicultural.
Not speak. Yeah, you can't live in London and not speak English. It's perfectly acceptable. I mean, could you do that?
Especially as a pampered footballer.
Could you do that? Could you go and live in Madrid and not speak Spanish?
Find it very hard, wouldn't you?
You find it so like it's different whenever you're a multi-millionaire. But I'd like to be able to go and walk to a shop and go, I'd like some bananas or Fairy Liquid, and be able to ask the question.
What's Fairy Liquid in Spanish?
Liquid de Fairy. I don't know.
I don't know the answer to that one, unfortunately, so we won't be actually confirming the answer in the show.
That's a cliffhanger for next episode. And I think that's where we should end right there. The cliffhanger. What is Fairy Liquid in Spanish?
Dun, dun,
we'll have to come back to that one next week. This has been the best football podcast in Northern Ireland, perhaps even the best in the world if we said so ourselves. I'm still Lee.
I'm still Alan.
This has been the, what do we call it now again? We changed the name. We changed the name and I forget what it's called all the time.
It's the Greasy Spoon debate.
This has been the Greasy Spoon debate, and that's over now. Bye. Are you still here?
Goodbye.